I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You can still say it's good morning because it's only 11:30.
We are late, but yeah, it's still morning, 11:35 for our Eastern folks, 10:30 for our Central, and I don't know what time it is in California right now.
A.M. A.M.
Really a.m. Yeah, good morning. It's good to be back. Did we miss last week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember that one time when we missed last week because we were on a boat?
Yes, I remember. I think we were in Mexico this time last week. We had an incredible time with family. Darcy went on her first cruise, and I think it was successful. Yes. It'll be more successful now. So we've cruised a lot, and so we had something to compare it to. And so, yeah, we're gonna switch ships next time. And so Darcy, just an experiment for Darcy to compare.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a great time. There were 15 of us that went. I don't think there were any fights. I mean, with your kids, maybe.
Yeah, that's not with the other groups.
With the adults. But taking family, in-laws, and siblings, and we had a mixture of everybody, and we didn't fight. And that's a cool thing about cruising is if you're tired of family or tired of doing something, you just do something else.
Uh-huh.
And that's why we like the other ships, because there's a lot more to do and there's a lot more things happening. And I wasn't impressed with Norwegian, their staff. I felt like they tolerated us, and I know what they're supposed to do. I took a bunch of money because you tip your cabin steward, and I did it. And we prepaid, obviously. We prepaid the gratuities.
Yeah.
But you always, you tip the ones that really stick out. And, they lost me when there were no towel animals. They lost me at that. And I'm like, if you can't take time to make me smile when I come back to my cabin, sorry.
Yeah.
So
I did like the fact that they vacuumed every day because my kids ate in the cabin, and some of them, for some reason, like don't come at me at this.
Oh, they will. Those internet people, they will.
Those internet people will. But like my kid's favorite cereal is Rice Krispie treats. Or not treats, but Rice Krispies, like plain, and they're full of zero nutrition. But they got those little boxes instead of the Fruit Loops, which is a good difference.
Good choice.
Their choice. But there was like Rice Krispies on the floor, and I'm like, it was good not to have to live with those Rice Krispies.
Yeah, good job, Bernard. Job for that. Ferdinand, I think, is what his name was.
I don't know his name.
But yeah, hey, if you're on the cruise line, those little things really make you they make you give money, and I got no little things. So our bartender did, though.
Yeah.
Our bartender Coleman, he got a lot. So next ship we're gonna go Royal next time. We'll get more money, but we got some time to save. So yeah, had a really good time. Darcy did wonderful on her health journey. I didn't do so well. And I still feel it in my system. Still feel it. I'm paying for it.
Well, you can't say that I did wonderful. I didn't do wonderful, but I tried to eat things that made me full, so I wasn't in that buffet area all the time.
Yeah, and that really does work. When you start the morning with protein, and that's going to lead into our conversation today about the amazing transformation in our USDA. I love it. So we're going to talk about that today. If you have anything you want to talk about, you just drop it in the comments. Share this video out. This is the first one of the new year. So We got a lot of exciting things happening this year. Our podcast is going to fire back up, and so we got a lot of stuff planned for this year, and we're getting wind in our sails with the new guidelines, and we got some science to back that up. And I think that we're going to see a lot of healthy people this year. So, hey, drop your New Year's resolution in the comment. Now, 49% of you have already failed your New Year's resolutions. And so that's where Coach Darcy and I come in, because we clean up the mess after the New Year's resolutions. We come in after the pills and potions, and we say, okay, now you want to do it for life? We got the tools for you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, everybody needs a New Year's resolution. Mine was June 12th, 2017. Everybody needs a New Year's resolution, wherever that falls in the year. So if you've already failed your New Year's resolution, just know you don't have to fail. And you can get serious and you can say, okay, not going to take any shortcuts. I need to do this the right way because I don't want to do this again. Yeah. I don't want to do this again. Even though Darcy and I weren't, 100% on plan and perfect, you know what? We came home, coolest thing ever. Came home, went pure protein. I did. I went pure protein, and I was kind of mad about it, actually, because we came off the ship and everybody's shoving food in you, shoving all of these things at you. And so you come home and you're just like, where's my waiter? Well, where's the food? And when you do the tricks that Darcy and I do, you're not hungry. And it kind of made me mad. I'm like, I need to be eating right now. But oh my gosh, the thought of putting food in my mouth, I'm full. So yeah, we're back. Yeah. So if you are still doing your New Year's resolution, drop it in the comments. And it doesn't even have to be food related. A lot of people just want to make a mental shift. I decided I am tired of the negativity on social media, and I dropped a lot of people because I'm just it sucks the life out of me. Yeah. And so I am not having toxic people around me. Your social media is your neighborhood. You are in charge of your neighborhood. You don't have to let people scream into your life with negative stuff. You just don't. It's your neighborhood. Kick them out. So that's what I'm, I want to be I want to be a positive person as well. Yeah. I can tend to sometimes look at my nail. I lost my nail on the cruise.
Oh, you got a nub.
It looks like I have a nub. Yeah. I'm going to talk to my nail lady about that. They didn't survive past the first day.
Yeah. I would just say, I had a week of fasting from the Facebook, from the social media.
It was weird.
And then on the way home, it was like I got to kind of catch up on what was going on, and I had the feeling of discouragement, and I was like, this is not like where I was mentally when I was away from people's opinions. And so negative opinions, because there's good opinions out there, and getting to talk to people that live in another country was beautiful. Like getting a perspective, like our driver, and I was at Roatan, like he was amazing. And so
the media tells us a false narrative of what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
And I was so energized and so encouraged by our driver. Was it the same driver we're talking about?
Yeah. Eder.
The country loves our president. And when you live in communism and socialism, and you live in this world of a king, and you have freedom over here like we do, they love it. And he was just jumping out of his skin saying, your president saved our country from this dictator. And what you see on the news is not the truth. It is not the truth. And we were just so encouraged to see that it's going in the right direction. And we've got a lot of problems. We really do have a lot of problems.
I would just encourage you to, if you are disagreeing with us right now, which is fine.
That's fine.
You're entitled to that. But step outside the country and talk to people. I experienced that in 2023 when I went to Paris. I talked to people, and you get to learn their perspective, and just communication and conversation for those that live there. It's different. So
it is.
And again.
And I sat next to somebody at a bar who loved our South Bend mayor. That was she loved him. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't argue with her. I let her have her opinion, and I just smiled and just said, I don't agree. I didn't say I don't agree with you, but I just smiled, and we had a beautiful conversation because she was a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
She wasn't one of those that was full of hate, and she just loved the man, and I let her, it's not, we weren't having an in-depth conversation. Had she asked me, I probably would have told her, but you don't have to argue with everybody. You can just smile, and you can be kind. And so, I loved it. And the beauty of the color of that ship was just, to me, people may say this is racist, but I don't care. It's our show. We can say whatever we want. I do see color. I see the beauty that God created, and these people were beautiful, and they had beautiful personalities, and I saw it was a plethora of color, and it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And
speaking of color,
now I did have Fox News on.
I know.
Check the news, of which I got the announcement of the new food pyramid. Ecstatic. It's just absolutely, this is why I voted the way I did, for this purpose. If there was one purpose only, it would have been RFK, because he's making changes. The shots, the vaccination schedule has changed. You don't have to follow it if you don't want to. If you love those shots, you can absolutely go get those shots. But having 72 shots at infancy is asinine. And I want a choice. So we went from like 72 to 11 recommended. Beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. It puts the power in the mom's hands. And I love everything about it. I love everything about it.
Just so you know, The Simpsons did have an episode about this.
Did they really?
They did. And I remember watching it like maybe last year or the 2 years before that. I'm not sure exactly, but I remember watching this.
About the shots?
No, not the shots, but what we're talking about today, about the food pyramid. And it was like this whole episode about, we just need to turn it upside down. It was like this.
So easy.
So easy.
So easy. Again, we're not telling you can't have your oatmeal. We're not telling you can't. It's just, what is the best for our health? And you and I have lived this.
Yeah.
We have lived the upside down pyramid for the past 8 years. And look what happened to us. We're half the people that we were before. Because it's natural. What they did with the food pyramid would wipe out all of the GLP-1s. If people followed it, it would create a zero need for a GLP-1. Because why? Because you are making GLP-1 naturally. When you start at the bottom of the brand new food pyramid, I'm going to share it to you here. When you do that, you automatically build the GLP-1, your own GLP-1. You don't have to have fake GLP-1. You're building it out of nutrition. And so we're going to share here the screen. I think it blacked Darcy and I out. Oh, no, it didn't. We're over there. So I got a picture of the traditional, where you start with the grains, and you start with the, all of the grains in the pastas and all of that, all the way up to the top where meat is at the top. Guess what? Your meat and your protein is a GLP-1. Your healthy fats. When you follow the new pyramid, zero need for a GLP-1. We start with protein. We use the healthy fats. We personalize the carbs. That is a really cool thing. You personalize it. If I started my day out with oatmeal, I'm eating all day long, because that is a sugar. That is what causes you to have those ravenous moments of eating. When you start with your fruits and you start with the sugars in the morning, you're going to be starving all day long. When you start your day out with the protein and healthy fats, it connects the neurons in your brain to say, I need to produce GLP-1, which is your satiety. That's what makes you not hungry. And so, amazing. This is amazing. Darcy, what are your thoughts when you see this picture here? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are exactly that, like what you're saying. But the thing that was popping out with me is in some of the comments that have been already stated about that, not negative comments, but the I don't know what their opinion about it. Says, oh, it's downgrading the natural, like the fruits and vegetables, and it's. But I think what it's showing you is portion wise, like you should not be eating a giant bowl of fruit and vegetables, because that is all pure sugar. Just like the oatmeal, it's not sustainable. But it's not telling you not to have those fruits and vegetables. Right. Like it's telling you to have smaller portions of those fruits and vegetables. And I've said it, you know, your body takes that fructose and it does the same thing like the oatmeal, where it only is sustainable for that little meal that you're having. And then you're hungry again. So then again, you're finding yourself eating. Yeah, again, you're not doing that natural fast that we should be having when we are choosing to eat the proteins and the healthy fats. And the other thing is that they're like demonizing the red meats and the meats in general. Like it's too much. And there's like that. What was the word I was looking at? The cholesterol portion of it. Like they're still very concerned about the cholesterol portion of having the red meats, and
of which they're misinformed about cholesterol in the first place, because it's not cholesterol.
Right. Because we're looking at in the 1950s when they came up. That was another thing is that they were talking about how those other specialists are talking about like I had a brain fart. They didn't say that. I had a brain fart just now where I was going with that. Oh shoot. What was it? You don't know because you're not in my head. You have in your brain.
Who does this hurt and who does this help? This new pyramid hurts the food industry. It hurts pharma, and it hurts physicians who make a lot of money off of you being sick. Who does it help? Darcy and I are living proof of who this helps. I was nearly 300 pounds. I was 275 pounds when I ate off of the old food pyramid. 140 pounds now, complete perfect lipid panel, complete perfect blood tests, all of it. So who does it hurt? It hurts big pharma, big money. It helps those of us who really want to heal and who really want to change their life, right? Yeah. So, there's a lot of people complaining because there's a lot of people whose pocketbooks are going to be impacted by this.
Yeah. I remember, I had a remembering of like the 1950s, like when they created the original food pyramid. Like you've got the gap in between, because that was the other naysay of like, well, those specialists, it was researched, and so this is how they came up with it to help with the cholesterol and all of this sort. But then we're not forgetting about like Ansel Keys and those people that were a part of the committee probably that made this.
It was a flawed study.
It was a flawed study because we have proof now. Like, decades later, we have proof by seeing, pictures and images of the people that were much smaller with less health issues. I'm not saying that there weren't health issues back in the day that they were trying to figure it out, but there's a huge gap now in between that shows you the proof of their study. And the proof of their study is that our obesity numbers have inclined, and our heart disease, and the diabetes, the Alzheimer's, the Parkinson's, all of these numbers are increasing in 2026. And hopefully now we're going to have time to say like, hey, this is what actually happens when you follow this moderation of this type of food pyramid.
Well, and I'm sorry, but pictures show everything. Look at the picture of the HSA director. I don't know if I have the right initials there, versus the one we have now. She was obese, right? He was obese, and he was telling everybody what to eat, and he was following that. No, the pictures show everything.
Yeah.
The pictures, that's all I need. I just keep thinking, how was it working for you? It wasn't. We have the highest obesity rate. We had the highest disease rate ever. So shouldn't the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again? And it's time to change that. And so not only weight loss, if you follow this food pyramid, you're automatically going to lose weight, number one, because of the GLP-1 factor, but also the disease factor. So we are out of our skin excited about this because it's going to help us in our coaching practice. We've got the wind behind our sails now. Now, if you look at this food pyramid and say, oh, I like this, I'm going to do mostly this. It's like the CGM that we have in our practice. You can put a nice CGM on your arm and it could be this, you could put beads on it. You could make it look fancy. If you're not going to eat right, it's not going to work. These are tools. If you look at this food pyramid and say, oh, that's beautiful, I'm going to do it, 50% of the time, it's not going to work. You got to do the things. And so that's where our coaching comes in, because not only with this science of behind the food pyramid, not only that we know the truth now, but we also have an epidemic of food addiction, of carbohydrate addiction, emotional eating addiction. People that want to change their bodies on the science part without fixing their emotional and spiritual needs. I'm in the process of writing a book right now, and one of the big chapters in it is that dieting assumes a neutrality. It assumes when you go on a diet, you're assuming that you're emotionally balanced. And that's not the case, because we're not. Women who come into the weight loss journey have emotions, big emotions. And if you don't deal with those emotions and you don't work those emotions in with your plan, you're going to fail. You'll be on a diet for 49 days, right? In fact, you'll be on a diet less than that, because the statistics show that you're only on a New Year's resolution for 2.5 weeks. So dieting assumes neutrality when it comes to the emotional part. And that's where the coaching comes in. That is where we do life with our people, not against life. And so that is the missing piece of this picture right here, is this picture assumes that you're on a diet and that you have neutral emotions and neutral social impacts. Because one of the biggest problems that our clients face is the social aspect. What do you do when you go out and you've got Uncle Joey saying, oh, just one bite won't hurt, just go enjoy life for a minute. You live once, right? That nixes out this entire food pyramid. So that's the missing piece. You've got to do it, but you also have to do it right. And so that's why, I don't care what the naysayers say. I really don't. I want to see our country become healthy the right way.
I would say, in the aspect of what you're talking about, and how we have these addictions, but we don't, not all of us have a food addiction. Not all of us have an alcoholic problem. Not all of us have, so this fits, it's a bio-individual. Like, we like to put each other in a box and say, well, how can you say that, sugar is addictive? Like, well, you may not have a problem with sugar, or have admitted yet that you have a sugar problem or some sort of other food addiction, but you're not the next person that actually does.
Right.
And they, when you go see a nutritionist, when you go see a doctor, they're not looking at the fact that you struggle in that department. And what I've learned over the years of being a part of this company is that, keto is a good foundation. The carnivore is a good foundation. It's a good tool. It's a good foundation for some people, but no, it's not for everybody. That's why. But the thing that does work is this food pyramid, because you are able to take what works for you from that food pyramid and apply it to what your body personally needs.
Yeah.
I get tired of going to or hearing stories about people going to doctors and saying, well, that doesn't work. That's not good for you. Well, the fact of the matter is that, for me, it worked for me. The other things that you were suggesting were not working for me because you were not focused on my bio individual needs. Like, you love broccoli, I don't, because broccoli doesn't work for my gut. Like, it tells me that no, you should not eat this. You could probably eat all the broccoli in the world and you're doing just fine. Right. That's keto. But it just goes to show you how there's two girls in this room right now, and broccoli does something completely different for us.
Right. And when I discovered that I was a food addict, and when I say food addict, I use that term, there's so many definitions. There's the sugar addiction where your brain has a chemical need for that drug. There's also volume addiction. That is my issue, where I want a lot. So you could be completely keto and eat a lot of keto and not lose weight because you have a volume food addiction. So there are many, many definitions. And until you drill down to yourself and, number one, be willing to admit that you have this in the first place, that's where alcoholics start. I have a problem, right? You may not know what that problem is. I didn't figure it out till I lost the weight. And that's the cool thing about keto is I'm a rule follower. And so for me, that was a very good tool because I knew the foods that I could eat. But then I also then had to dig down into my healing even more and realize, okay, I've got some emotions. And those emotions are being met by eating a lot, right? And so mine that I struggle with is volume addiction. And the fact that it's 12 o'clock and I should be eating lunch now. Right. And I would put a lot on my plate. It is multifaceted. And that's why our practice works, because we've got some clients right now who are not willing to deal with addiction. They think that it's only about food and they're not willing to deal with the addiction. And so for them, they're saying, oh, I might as well take the shot. Well, the shot's going to stop the symptom. It's not going to fix the root. And the minute you stop taking that shot, you are gaining all that weight back because you're not brave enough to deal with it and say, yeah, that's me. And I am willing to do the hard things because it is hard to deal with addiction. Very hard.
Yeah.
So whole body healing is the only way that you're going to be healthy for the rest of your life. And when it clicks, something inside of you clicks and you're like, oh, that's it. I'm not willing to put that in my body anymore. Gosh.
Just take a drink. Take a drink. Wait.
I came home with a cold, y'all, but I'm not even sorry about it.
I think it was more of a weather change. We went from beautiful weather to this cold, brittle weather. And so that was my excuse, because beforehand, like, I didn't have this problem for a whole entire week until I got home. But she left us. So I guess I'm gonna go on. That's right, Sancy. I'm gonna do that when I'm done. You said that last time, and I did that to my boys, and I was trying to do that to Mark, put some iodine in his nose, and he refused. And Silas was like, well, I didn't get a choice. It smells. So, but they are good. They're all good to go. I think I love our program. The biggest, because we work on the body, mind, and spirit, not just on the nutrition part. And I think that's what Coach is saying, is that it comes down to balance. Like, I go to the gym. I came back to the gym yesterday, and there's people that still are working hard. They're working out. Their physique they might be stronger underneath, but your muscles are not going to be defined until you fix what's happening in the kitchen. And I think that is the mindset that we need to also adjust, is the fact that, we can make these resolutions of, oh, I'm going to get stronger. Oh, you're going to get stronger, but you still may have some fat over your muscles. I think for me, I'll go into a level of, after living this lifestyle for 6 years, I still have, certain parts of my body that are just not willing to get rid of the excess skin or fat. I don't think it's fat. I think what I'm dealing with is learning that I probably have a lymph problem. So that's my next new journey for me personally, is the fact that we get discouraged because the scale's not moving. You're doing the things, you're working out, but yet you are struggling with getting the last few or like your ideal body image going, or whatever it is. It could be something deeper. It could be something more than just the food portion. So when it comes to the mental discouragement, and they're like, see, it doesn't even work. I'm living this lifestyle. If you saw me in the streets, you'd see like my pear-shaped body. Like that's, and you're like, how are you a health coach? That's what was going on in my moments, is like, how are you a health coach? You have a pear-shaped body. You still have, well, there's things that can be deeper than that. But I know based off, go ahead.
Going on with that, Darce, I think when you get into our world of, being a health coach and going through the health changes that we have, one of the things that I have had to wrestle with, and I did something a little bit scary this year, I did a photo session for my husband. I did a professional photo session, and one of the things that and you know what kind, I won't go into that, but one of the things when I called this photographer and said, I'm going to do something really, really crazy, she said, that's lovely that you want to do that for your husband. I'm 50 years old, gone through this health change. She said, I want you to do it for you. And I'm like, no, that's not for me. It was the most healing thing I've ever done, because, and she asked me about it today. She's doing a magazine, and I put an article in about my healing with that session. And she said, what was the most transformative thing that you went through when you did this with me? And I said, excuse me, I still see my body at 300 pounds. When I look in the mirror, I still see my body as 300 pounds. I do not see a 140-pound woman. I see all the flaws. I see all of the the wrinkles. I see all of everything that I should not be seeing. And when she opened the photos, when I had to pick them out, she opened them. I cried because there was no Photoshop. It was just me. And I said, that was the most healing thing about me, because I was able to see myself as, hopefully not as other people see me, but I was able to see myself in a completely different way. And so I think that's also another thing. And it's another level of healing. Like Sancy said here, it helps, having a coach helps you mentally. We see the changes in our clients. They don't see them. And so we encourage, take the picture, take the before picture, take the after picture, because you will not feel. There was about 3 months I felt sexy after I lost the weight. After that, I was average. And that's when all of the other glaring problems came out. And so body dysmorphia is another level of healing that every client of ours needs to go on. Whether it be a photo shoot for you, whether it be just a before and after picture, you need to see yourself as other people see you, because we are blind when it comes to that. Now, that's on the other side of healing. That's on the other side of the weight loss. And, not even at the end of your weight loss. It's the during as well, is part of the emotional healing that needs to happen. Because even those people that take the GLP-1s, they don't see themselves. Again, for 3 months, they may feel it. After that, it is not the same. And so body dysmorphia is another portion of your healing. Am I there yet? No, especially on the cruise. I was not there. But all of it, body, mind, spirit, and your social part, have to be healed before you can heal fully. When you want to heal fully, you don't want half of a healing. If you have half of a healing, you're on a diet. And that's not what we're on anymore. We're on a life change.
Yeah.
And so body dysmorphia was another thing that I wanted to bring up when it comes to the entire healing process. Carry on, Darcy.
Yeah. Well, I was waiting to see if you had anything else.
No.
Yeah, I would just say like the weight loss, the journey that you decide to choose to go on is not gonna it's not gonna be fixed. Like we're saying, it's not gonna be fixed by just losing the weight.
No.
You can feel good in your own skin. We see clients that feel good for, it's not just us, but they go through a season and they're having to refigure out who they are and refigure out if this is worth it. Sometimes when they are in those crossroads, they go back to where they came from because they think, oh, that life was so much better. But then they are like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I feel so crummy. This doesn't feel good. So it's just like almost a rememory of a history that's going to be repeated again if you don't fix the other portion of the pillars. Like you've got to work on the body, mind, and spirit together. Like
the other caution point that I have to share as well is when you start to regain the weight back, when you kind of get comfortable, if you're not on, I'll be on guard the rest of my life. When you start to get comfortable after losing some weight, you can get satisfied and the weight comes back 1 pound at a time. Now for the GLP-1 folks, the weight comes raging back because the minute you stop, you start eating normally and you can see it very, very quickly. We had a client who was off of it for 30 days. She gained 60 pounds. That comes back really fast. So the GLP-1 people probably don't hit this mark in their journey. But when I had lost the weight and I was comfortable in my skin, kind of let up on the gas a little bit. And I had 20 pounds that came back, but I didn't notice it because it came back 1 pound at a time. So when you get comfortable and you get in this, I've got this mode, overconfidence, it is a very scary thing. 20 pounds came back that I didn't even notice until I saw a picture of myself. And I'm like, wait, what is this? Was this a before picture? And I'm like, oh crap, it is not a before picture. Now the picture that was taken I was in an unflattering pose. And so I even tried to justify that to say, oh, it was just an unflattering pose. No, I gained 20 pounds back. And so I will never be confident. I know the boundaries now. I know that 5 pound mark. And that's how I let my healing continue is I use the scale as my coach. And if I'm above that 5 pound mark, I got to do something. And because we came back from the cruise, I can feel it. And so I have not stepped on the scale yet. I will before a 72-hour fast. I will step on that scale to see what the damage was. Just because we were out of, there was no parameters. There was no macros during the cruise, So, and there was alcohol. And alcohol, we know what the impact of alcohol, even the zero carb or zero calorie, there's zero carb alcohols. We know the impact. And so I go by the 5 pound mark. If I hit that, if I'm going up towards that 5 pound, I pull it back. I just pull it back naturally.
Yeah.
And we've got the tools that we have to do that.
Yeah. And I do like to say that, the other portion of how you just get back on board and keep yourself in check is our accountability. And between your accountability and my accountability, and then I have an accountability partner that goes to the gym with me. Getting those people in your life will help you stay in check. Not being distant from your community is huge. Like-minded, they're able to say, hey, you look fine. This is all mental. And let me just tell you, for you ladies that still have your cycles, that plays so much into your mental factor. So you have to understand that if you have a cycle, or if you're in premenopause, or if you're in menopause, your body is going to fluctuate naturally because it's preparing for something every single month.
Yes.
It's preparing you to be done with that, having that every single month. So then you're going to be in another whole new season.
Yeah. So Darcy, your 5 pounds, because I don't have a cycle, your 5 pounds may be different, but you know exactly where that is. So yours could be 10 pounds. And if it's that time of the month, you're like, oh, I know what's going on with my body. Yeah. Not knowing your body is the downfall to your health journey. Right. So my 5 pounds could be much different than yours, depending on the time of your cycle in the month.
Yeah.
So don't take my 5 pounds as that's what the coach said.
Right. What's
happening the other times of the month? You know, that's when you do your little test. You don't do it right before, right? Or whenever. It's different for everybody.
And I think with the social media, like, I don't feel like as coaches out there, other coaches out there, I don't think they talk about the body dysmorphia portion of it. They don't talk about the mental health portion of it. You see that person that's exercising every single day and doing videos. You don't see what the other days look like for them. You don't see that the days that they don't record, they're just not feeling strong enough because maybe that's what their cycle's making them do. Like there's a portion before you start the bleed cycle that your body naturally decreases in that strength department, and you feel, progesterone is trying to say, hey, you need to be calm right now. I'm gonna take those hormones and I'm gonna do things the right way. Yeah. And so then we get into our head and we're discouraged because we're like, I just worked out for 3 weeks, felt strong, and now I'm feeling weak. Yeah. I feel like a failure. So we have to take those moments into consideration and talk more. Huh?
A lot of the coaches that you're talking about, that's just marketing.
Oh, yeah.
To come on here and say, my clients have lost 10,000 pounds, and they've kept it off.
We can make it sound great.
Numbers were great for marketing.
Yeah.
We are realists, and we're going to tell you how it is because it's not easy. It's not what social media tells you. We go through our struggles as well.
Just knowing that you've got to focus on the upside down pyramid and follow that and do the things because that is your foundation. The other portion of your foundation is the mental side of it, knowing that when you are eating something that you may eat every single day may not work for you at another part of your month. Like it's another week is like, why do I feel so bloated? Well, that's not doing you justice right now.
Right.
So I think keeping in check of keeping a journal, keeping in check, understanding how your body personally works, not what the little ladies that are doing gym exercises showing their voluptuous booty.
Right.
Stop taking that in. Stop watching that. Like, be encouraged that they're, showing you some good exercise tips. Maybe you're encouraged by, how hard they work, and that's motivating to you. But don't compare yourself.
A 20-year-old to a 50-year-old.
Right.
I've had to come to that. I'm 50 years old, so my journey is not going to look like Darcy's.
Yeah.
And I need to look at my own personal journey, and that's why when we sit with clients one-on-one every week, we're able to. I had a client yesterday say, I'm not losing weight on this carnivore. Well, today in our session, we're going to dig down deeper into her macros. How much are you eating? Because we can't just say, eat carnivore, you're going to lose weight. I need to know how much you're eating. I need to know are you in a calorie deficit? No. And so that's what we're able to take apart instead of looking at the entire puzzle and saying it's not working. Let's take a piece out of that puzzle.
Yeah. And I experienced that myself on carnivore. The first month, I lost 10 pounds being carnivore. I was carnivore with 0 dairy for 86 days. And that was all I lost, like weight-wise. But I got myself a grounded foundation, a natural GLP-1. That was my other thing and I don't think that this is talked about enough either. Maybe this should be a session, things that aren't talked about enough.
Yes.
There you go. Is the fact that, some people's hunger hormone works differently. So if you are somebody who feels overly full with 1,200 calories, you have a different story versus somebody who can eat 1,200 or 1,600 calories and still feel hungry.
Right.
because that leptin hormone is not working properly. So that is like, you look at that and say, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to see how I can fix that.
Yeah.
How can I fix this leptin? And that for me is doing carnivore. So I know that I feel my best. I feel my fullest. I am not thinking about food when I am prioritizing carnivore as my main foundation. That might not work for somebody like Aunt Monica. Like that might not work for her.
I can eat 6 hard-boiled eggs and still be starving. 6.
Yeah.
If I had 6 scrambled eggs, I am full for 2 days. Like different foods also trigger the different.
How it's made.
Exactly. And everybody's different. So I can't tell a client, oh, go have 6 hard-boiled eggs and you'll feel fine. No, it doesn't work for them. You've got to find your trigger foods. You've got to find your keys so that you can put it in. And maybe I can't eat six fried eggs. I can't eat 6 of those, but I can eat 3, and that will completely keep me full. But if I had 3 hard-boiled eggs, I'd be snacking.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's individualized.
Not only are we excited about this upside down pyramid, and we're excited about our new CGM program. I think all of our programs that we have that we use are super beneficial because they weave together so beautifully.
Yeah.
When I get a client that is brand new to the keto world and they choose to do a CGM as well, like that data, that information is so valuable. But then understanding that our hormones play into our weight loss, which is our Ageless Keto program, the addictions program. Like most of us that are in this program are a food addict in some way. I didn't learn that until probably like after you made me take the quiz. It was actually when you didn't make me, but you encouraged me to join in your food addictions class. And so I showed up to that. I did the workbook, and as I did the workbook, that showed me I've got trust issues. I've got a food addiction problem. And it's a different way than you have a food addiction, but I still have depended on food at a very young age. And it was the sugar. I depended on that sugar at a very young age, which then made me learn that's why I am where I am.
1 out of 3 people struggle.
Yeah. And so we're, in our program, I would love for everybody to take just a giant, Ageless Keto with the food addiction course, with the CGM on, with our group program. I'd love that for everyone to experience because they go hand in hand.
They do.
You can't really have one healing without the other.
Yeah. If I had my dream, I would create a year program, and I would progress it.
Yeah.
And I would start with keto, getting them detox. Then we would slap a CGM, and then we would take them through the hormones. It's a rough show today, guys.
Honestly, I think that when they join a program, not even detoxing yet, they slap a CGM on.
Yes.
Because they can visually see what their body was doing before they went on a detox. And then when you go on that detox, then you would be able to see that progression from what you were eating before and how your lifestyle was before to then just 2 weeks of a detox. You're going to be mind blown of what that CGM will show you. Granted, there's people that will still heal big time, but you can just see that progression, and it's fascinating. So being able to see what your body's doing continually instead of doing a finger prick every once in a while, that's only going to show you 1 or 2 portions of the day, and it's probably not the time when maybe your glucose is high or spiked. But being able to see what your body's doing on the inside with those labs, so that you know what your body's doing with blood work, all of those things just go hand in hand. It just enlightens you and know how you work, which then also, in the end, helps us as coaches be able to help you faster, I think. Determine what's going to work best for you. This is not your dairy intake is going to not be like this other client. dairy intake. Like, it's not going to affect you like this person. Maybe you do have a sensitivity to something else. And so this is how we adjust the program for you. And so I love what
cough drops the last time I exited. I am supplied now.
Good.
Rough show today, guys.
Yeah. But, so anyway, give us a grace because our brains are still foggy for the boat. I feel like some of us, I feel like we still have sea legs.
We do.
Mark will wake up, he's walking, it's like the house is moving. Like, no, it's not. So not only do we have that, but we have frigid weather and no sun.
Susie started her 72-hour fast last night.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm excited for our 72-hour fast.
Begins tomorrow.
Yeah, which is starting tomorrow. And I have my meal planned out. It's going to be great.
All right. So we're going to have to wind this up.
Yeah.
Or you can take over.
Well, I would just say, if you are on the brink of, you have your goal for this year, 2026, where do you see yourself next year? Not next year. Mm-hmm. Next year this time. And you have a plan. Maybe you have a plan to, every now and again add some fasting, and it's not working out for you. And don't get discouraged. Don't turn to those, don't turn to the shot right away. Don't turn to the weight loss products that are guaranteeing you to lose weight, because that's not the case at all. You're just going to be spending a lot of money on products that are maybe working for one thing, but not helping you hit your goals for this time next year. I would highly encourage you to get yourself a group, possibly our group of accountability people. Also, getting yourself into our program. Like, if you want to experience what we talked about, like, we are here for you for that. We will get you in a program that works best for you. Like I said, I would love to see every single one of our clients, every single person that comes in our door to do all the things. But if that's not where you're ready for, then just starting out small and testing the waters is what a lot of clients end up doing, and then they're like, I need something more.
Yeah.
But I think you have got to make your game plan now. So, and write it out, what your game plan is for yourself. Write out all the events that are going to cause you some hiccups. So then you're going to pre-see those. But then having yourself say, this time next year, I am going to be this. And when you use those power words of I'm going to, you're more than likely going to challenge yourself in a better way and not be flaky. Oh, we're a green screen now.
I don't know what I just did. The door's knocking, the dogs are barking, I'm coughing. It's chaos, and now we have a moving screen. We're gonna land this plane. Again, kmhealthcoaching.org is where you find us. Set up a consult call with us first so we can put you in the right program. But if you're struggling, we're here for you. We are here every Tuesday morning at this morning it was 11:30. We are still on cruise time, but grab a hold of us. We're going to walk you through it. We're going to deal with the addiction. We're going to put you on the right path so that you can be an entirely different person this time next year. It took me 1 year to lose 130 pounds. You can do it. You can do it naturally. If you're struggling on a GLP-1, if you've adapted to the GLP-1, if you have crashed your metabolism on a GLP-1, we can also help you with that. Our goal, no matter what you do, is for you to keep the weight off. And so don't be stubborn. Don't be too proud. Don't feel full of shame. Come to us and say, Monica, Darcy, I want to keep this weight off. We have a GLP-1 recovery program for you so that you don't have to gain that weight back and you can be free. So this time next Tuesday, we will be here. We're going to launch our podcast the beginning of the year. We're going to do our first recording here soon. We do have a special guest. Dr. Vera Tarman is going to be joining us. For her, she has 2 papers that she has written. So she's going to come on the podcast. I love it when she joins us. She's amazing. She wrote the book Food Junkies and is a colleague of ours. in the food addiction world. So we're pretty excited about that. So again, apologies for this raw show today. Darcy did wonderful. The captain is a little off base today. But
you got your sea legs on still. It's fine.
I do. So we love you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.